here yet. Yeah, first minute.
So we live on how many platforms?
You're live on YouTube and Facebook right now. And then I set this one up so you can go live on this one time.
All right. Did we highlight any topic in particular or we didn't? I didn't give you anything, right?
I keep it as general.
Okay, cool. Yeah, general. So pleasant good morning, guys. Yours truly, Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. Discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. New week, well, not new, well, it feels like a new week because yesterday was a holiday. We have a few holidays, well, and that could be. So, we had some feedbacks actually on Tuesday, and there was this particular client that we had that was very, very satisfied with the results that they got. And I, in turn, was very happy simply because of what the issue was. So I'll tell you what the issue was. This particular individual came to us with serious hormonal imbalance challenges. So it is or was, in fact, or is, in fact, sorry, a female. And this particular female, when she came to us, there's a number of issues she had. She had problems with not being able to sleep, serious hot flashes, depression, anxiety, issues associated with panic attacks. This was not serious arthritis pain as well. So there was a number of things that elevated blood sugar, elevated blood pressure. So the list was a long list, right? But the key issue that this person really had when they came to us and we did the analysis, because they went to a few other doctors before, not integrated specialists like what you find at Batson and Associates, but your regular Western medical allopathic doctor. And what the doctors told her is that they checked her thyroid and the thyroid was good because they were suspecting it was a thyroid problem. And what they realized when they did the thyroid test, the TSH, the T3, and the T4 came back really well. So it wasn't a thyroid problem. But the difference with Western medicine as opposed to integrative medicine, and this is the difference, which is why the client got results, is that our job is to deal with the root cause of the problem. Now, the thing is, when the assessment was done, firstly, when I looked at the blood analysis, and there was some blood test that was brought for our attention, and one or two other tests that was done. So in looking at everything pointed to inflammation, and not just regular inflammation, but excessively high levels of inflammatory response, which is why the doctors was even telling her that the possibility exists she had an autoimmune condition because she also had problems with irritable bowel situation, regular diarrhea, not being able to go out. So this, look at the list: diabetes, high blood pressure, hot flashes, serious joint pain, um, digestive problem. So they weren't able to go out as they're accustomed going out because of this irritable bowel situation. And they would go from one extreme to the next. So they either very constipated or serious problems with frequency and very sore stool, so almost diarrhea situation. So you can imagine how frustrating that would be, and then of course very tired. And in this particular situation, what we found is when I looked at the blood analysis, especially the dry blood analysis, which gives us biological terrain, dry blood analysis has the ability to show underlying issues because it really looks at blood from a cellular aspect. And the thing is, it's very easy to look at the blood once the sample is dried and you magnify it under your high-powered microscope. What you're actually going to find is serious issues with bowel congestion. And that is what was quite evident in this person's blood analysis. So the thing is, with live and dry blood analysis, which is one of the things we do at Batson Associates, live and dry blood analysis really gives you, especially the dry blood analysis, really gives you the opportunity to look at the body from that whole biological terrain. What is going on? Do you have problems with dehydration? Because a severely dehydrated person, in a dry blood, they're going to show high levels of inflammatory response. A constipated individual is going to show serious bowel toxicity where you have like large holes in the sample. So the thing is, remember, blood is a colloidal suspension, which means it has solid and liquid in it. So in a colloidal suspension, what happens when it dries? Heavy things go below, light things come to the top. So what we essentially see is the acid aspect of the blood. And with a lot of individuals, you see high levels of acidity. Once you have high levels of acidity, you're going to have serious joint pain. You're going to have serious problems with osteoporosis, where you have calcium actually being pulled out from the bones on a constant basis, calcium being one of the main alkalizers of the body, which is stored in your bones. And then the thyroid, of course, controls how much calcium is taken from the bone at any given time. So the thing is, in a situation like that, that person is going to have a lot of joint pain. That person is going to have a lot of problems with arthritis, a lot of problems with severe swelling in the limbs. So you find this person's ankle is always going to be swollen. They're going to have problems with their veins. They're going to have problems with pins and needles, cramping on their calves, burning on their feet. So that was basically the list of things that was wrong with that individual. And the thing is, when we actually started the treatment protocol, what we decided to work on primarily was the gut area. We did some work on the liver, we did some work on the lymphatic system, gastrointestinal system. And the thing is in 4 weeks' time, when this client came back to us, they were so impressed with the results that they got rather based on what was recommended, based on what was done or what was found out in that blood analysis. So that's why we always tell persons, once you plan to visit Batson Associates, regardless of what your health issue is, we need to do that blood and that live and dry blood and that scan. Why? Because it has the ability to give us what is known as subhealth. Subhealth is the condition of the body between health and disease. You don't get sick in one day, you don't get sick overnight. You actually get sick or debilitating diseases like diabetes, arthritis, hypertension. Those are cumulative diseases. You get those over a period of time. Let me say, of course, a pleasant good morning to everyone. You're listening to Support Your Health Naturally with Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, where we support your health naturally. Keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. And of course, today we're discussing, I was just giving, for those of you who may have just joined us, because I saw we had some persons joining us, Ms. Elizabeth Nandlal, good morning to you. Ms. Marge Hills, good morning. Of course, on our Instagram, we have Retro Prince TT, we have Anita has joined us, we have Shorty SM has joined as well. So keep in mind, it is a question and answer session. And, one of the things I was actually giving them an example of a client who came to us. Before I continue, someone is asking, what is Nerve Restore for? And Nerve Restore is a product we carry at Batson Associates that is specifically designed to help people who suffer from neurological problems. So issues associated with sleep deprivation, issues associated with depression, anxiety. You often see a lot of individuals use that Nerve Restore product. We do have that back in stock. We also got back anthocyanin complex. That's a very long name. Anthocyanins are what you find in berries. So the berry family, of course, is very good for the eyes. So that product is primarily a product for persons who have problems with glaucoma, macular degeneration, especially age-related macular degeneration. If you do not know what that is, the macula is a certain part of the eye that plays a significant role in sight. As you age, you could actually have something known as age-related macular degeneration, which is when the macula degenerates, which tends to compromise one's eyesight. So the thing is, the anthocyanin complex is actually for that. We would actually start to get back this other product we have in stock as well, which is our advanced chlorophyll, which of course you know the importance of chlorophyll. Of course, that one have a little more kick to it in terms of the quality of the chlorophyll that you get, and of course its ability to really detoxify the body, especially detoxify the liver, the skin. So you can check out Batson and Associates for that. Keep in mind our locations. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. That telephone number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Davie is the corner of Ramsey Mood Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Davie. That telephone number for Davie, of course, is 223-7515. Again, 223-7515. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson. We are discussing, there's a particular question that was asked. Let me just come back on the Instagram here. She says, Doc, I have swelling in my ankle for a long time ago. Also, I have varicose veins and knee pain. Okay, well, what is that name? That's a very long name here. Is Portia? Okay, so I'm just going to just sing the Portia part because that's a really, really long name. And I'm trying to make fun of your name. It's just a really long name, right? Because I'm realizing it's words together, but the way it put together is sort of difficult to read it. Anyway, so if that is your situation, I don't know if you're in Trinidad and Tobago, if you could actually access our offices. But of course, if you can't do that, I recommend you give us a visit. We could definitely help you with that situation. And you also don't sleep at night. So the possibility exists you could always also have a little problem with PMS. And again, I'm not attempting to be facetious or condescending in any way. A lot of people do not understand what PMS is. PMS is actually post-menopausal syndrome. Operative word on post, because what happens, a lot of women, when they go through menopause, they assume that menopause is the worst. No, you could actually have pre-menopause being very bad, which is before menopause, years or months before menopause. You could have a horrible time with serious problems with acid reflux. You could have problems with weakness in your legs. You could have elevated blood pressure, very low blood sugar levels, low energy levels, weakness in your legs, emotional disturbance, depression, anxiety. The list is a very, very long list. Keep in mind, though, that you could experience those things pre-menopause, which is before menopause. You could also experience it during menopause, and you could also experience it post, which is long after menopause. There are a lot of people who have the misconception that once a woman goes through her menopause, everything is all well with her. No, my dear ladies. That is why we have so many women who have all these problems with depression and anxiety and serious mental challenges. If you have PMS or you have menopause and you get serious hormonal imbalance and you do not take care of yourself and you don't know how to take care of yourself, you can literally end up insane. And that is not me exaggerating. Think of not being able to sleep at all. Every time you lie down to sleep, you can't close your eyes. You cannot fall asleep. And whatever little sleep you get has to be induced by either sleep medication. And then those types of sleep is never good sleep. It's just more forceful sleep than anything else. So there's no rejuvenation or healing taking place in the body when you have that type of sleep. What you're really getting is sleep, survival sleep. That's just to keep you going, barely going, but going. Good. So feel free to give us a call or visit those telephone numbers again and locations. We are located on the SS Erie Main Road in Davie. That's the corner of Ramsey Mood Trace and the SS Erie Main Road. Keep in mind, I have an open clinic day in Davie on the 29th. So those of you from South or know somebody from South who have some issue and they want to get a visit, one of my days in Davie is going to be the 29th of this month. So you can take advantage of that. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road. St. James, well, usually most Fridays I'm there. Tomorrow I'll be there, God's willing. That's my open clinic day for St. James. And of course, Chaguanas, I believe my next open clinic day for Chaguanas is going to be next week, please God. So you could always call that Chaguanas office. It's 222-8261. That's 222-8261. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James, and that number is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to Michelle, Chris, Brits, Charles, Miss Listra Jordan. She said, Doc, what about parasites? Do you do your products and or testing? For parasites, so we don't do any parasite tests. Well, let me just say that if in the blood analysis, sorry, you can't see fungi, you can't see parasites, you can see parasitic worms, those type of things in a blood sample. As regards to testing, well, we don't necessarily test per se in terms of from a qualitative perspective, in terms of a lab, in terms of looking at numbers and that type of thing, depending on what you're looking at. But as regards to whether we can tell you if you have pathogens, definitely. Once in the dry blood analysis, when we see those large things, they actually look like bullet holes, like precise round holes. When we see that, we know that person has serious bowel congestion. The possibility that person may have serious problems with either halitosis, bad breath, problems with the perspiration, serious problems associated with hair loss. All these people who telling you they're suffering from alopecia. You don't got no alopecia. What you have is toxins in your body that your body is so toxic and inflammatory that the follicles of your hair, which are very sensitive cells, could no longer function properly. And then the doctor is telling you that you have inflammation of the hair follicles. You have the inflammation of not drinking sufficient water, of not taking proper cleanse and detox. By the way, talking about cleanse and detox, very soon we're going to have our Santulan, sorry. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting on that. As I said, we will not deliberately or are not deliberately keeping it from you, believe me. But we're going to ensure that you get your Santulan shortly. That 7-channel detox that cleans and detoxify kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So you can call, make your orders. We're going to be getting a lot to make sure that we deal with you guys the best way that we know. Women's formula, we also have in stock. Someone was asking about women's formula. Those of you who may have problems with things like polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, we can help in that situation. Ms. Michelle is saying, Dr. Batson, what do you do or eat to prevent blood clots? Blood clots, in terms of what you regularly eat, I always tell people cook with a lot of garlic. Garlic is very good for blood circulation. So is ginger. Drink a lot of hot teas. Ideally, no milk, no sugar. Batson Associates. We carry some really good teas for circulation. We also carry circulation products. There's a product we have called Balanced Circulation. That's the capsule, very, very popular product. We also would be getting back something known as Advanced Circulation, which is a liquid circulation product, really good. And that product used to help with a lot of problems with things like varicose veins, spider veins, those type of things. Okay. Keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson Associates Trinidad. So we have just about 3 minutes before this program is finished. I believe that I give you your fair time. No, actually, no, I have some more time for you guys. So we will go till 11:40. And keep in mind, we have 2 more programs on live. We're going to be joining DJ Mamu on DJ Mamu Radio TT. That program, we're going to have to push it a little back today based on my schedule. So we'll be looking at joining DJ Mamu either from 2:45 to 3 p.m. And we go from 3 to 4. That program is an hour. And then we join Synergy TV. And Synergy TV is going to be from 5 to 5:30 p.m. That's a really good program. So that's actually going to be televised. So it's going to actually be live as well as our connection there with Synergy. So you could look forward to that. We'll be discussing diabetes part 2 because the last time I was there, I actually discussed diabetes and the complications associated with diabetes. So you guys could join us for that. And Don Lowe is asking, when will we be getting Santulan? Miss Lowe, within the next 2 weeks, my dear. Okay? I do apologize for the wait. As I said, it is not a deliberate wait on my part, right? It's just dotting our I's and crossing our T's and getting certain things done. We live in Trinidad, we are a special place here, but such is life. God is good all the time. Nice. Keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson Associates TT. and on YouTube, we're Batson and Associates Trinidad. Today, we discussed some level of hormonal imbalance. We talked about PMS. Ladies, I continue to applaud you. If it is you are in advanced age, nothing's wrong with that, nice and mature, you need to make sure and take care of yourself. You could always come to Batson and Associates. Check out our Nerve Restore and our Women's Formula. Really, really good products. We also have the Digestive Restore, really good product for things like acid reflux, bloating, gas, belching. We also have Digestive Balance, which is digestive enzymes together with prebiotics, probiotics. We also have the Stem Cell Digestive, really popular product. That helps persons who have really bad problems with gas, belching, bloating. If you may be diagnosed with things like Crohn's, irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis, that type of thing, which I don't understand why people suffer from that. That is such an awful thing to have. Okay, Ms. Marsha, Michelle asked, what to use for acidosis? The thing is, if you're talking about acidosis, well, you have different types of acidosis. You have acid reflux, excuse me, or what is called GERD, which is gastrointestinal reflux disease. If you're referring to that, or where you feel like you feel burning and that type of thing, I suggest you look at your water intake. Make some changes as regards to your lifestyle. I don't know if you do this, but try not to eat and drink simultaneously. It is never a good idea to do that because that actually interferes and dissolves your gastric juices, digestive juices, and it makes it more difficult for your food to be digested rather. There's usually a tea we carry called Gastro tea. Very, very good product. We have a few teas as well that helps with digestion. The Digestive Restore, Digestive Balance. What I would also recommend you do, try and drink hot tea and don't drink cold water. Cold water internally is very problematic. It causes a lot of problems with your digestive system. It complicates and interferes with your body ability to assimilate lipids, which are fats, properly. So all you chocolate and ice cream lovers who drink all that cold water, all that fat staying right in there to block up your arteries and give you some sort of myocardial infarction. So know what you're doing. Good. Let me say, Ms. Elizabeth Nandla says, I have an issue in getting in my full complement of water along with my teas. So most days I have fruit in the AM and then my dinner meal. So technically I am doing intermittent fasting. Okay. Well, yeah, and then keep in mind too, what you could also do, because you need to, like what I would do, this is how I would normally operate. Sometime during the day, I am going to most likely, which is most of the time in the early time, but it depends on how my schedule is. So let me give you an example. I might have, we carry a wheatgrass with the roots and the grass. I really love that brand. That I've been personally using for a number of years. My mom, my whole family uses that product. Really, really good product. I love it. I normally recommend it for everyone because I think it does so much for the body. I normally mix 2 packs of that together with the inflammation formula, 1 tablespoon, the chlorophyll, 1 tablespoon, and I also use the silver, which I would normally use like 4 tablespoons of silver. And I'll mix that in 16 ounces of water, and I would drink that. But that's the first thing. So the thing is with that, depending on what I do, if I go to the gym, whatever the case may be, somewhere along mid-morning, I'm going to have a hot cup of tea, apart from water. So the point I'm actually trying to make, Miss Nandlal, is you need to incorporate your teas, or you can even incorporate things like your inflammation formula, or if you're using some sort of powdered greens or wheatgrass, whatever the case may be, the inflammation formula and the silver, that kind of thing. And the reason why we normally do that, and I recommend that for a lot of our clients, is to increase or automatically increase your sensible liquid intake. Okay, so what is sensible liquid intake? I feel I need to coin this. So sensible liquid intake is anything that is sensible and does good to your body. So that will be what? Water, alkaline water, or water, wherever you get your water. But I mean, keep in mind, alkaline water is premium alkaline water. So you have high ORP, which is oxidative reduction potential. So you also have now, as regards to the water, you also have your teas. So let's say if you have your circulation tea, liver tea, that's additional fluid, sensible things in the diet. Tea, liver tea, kidney tea, ginger tea, soursop tea with no milk and sugar in it. That is sensible. If you have your green powders, there are a number of things we carry at Batson and Associates. You might get a mangosteen, or you might have a nitric oxide supplement powder, you mix that in water again, you drink it. Those kind of things are sensible things. So anything that you do juicing, you blend like carrot juice, sensible. All those things are sensible. The nonsense is like the soft drink, the energy drinks, the coffee, especially excessive amounts of those things. Those things, that is when you start drinking nonsense and interfering with your kidneys. Because keep in mind, when you drink those very colorful beverages, especially the bright ones and the dark colors one, keep in mind your kidney has to filter that. What are you really doing to yourself? Right? You're trying to give yourself diabetes. That's exactly what you're trying to accomplish. So keep in mind, again, those telephone numbers and locations. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. There's a question I'm seeing here. I'm trying to answer on Instagram. Star Hutch say, I was recently diagnosed with early stages of osteoporosis in my knees. What can I use for this? In all honesty, there are a number of things you could use. I always recommend that you come and see us at least. But we know how things go with people. So if you can't do that, what I would suggest you do, at least get the inflammation formula and the silver with mineral formula. As regards to what you could use from home, try and have things that have more, like sea moss is very good. You could also have chia seeds. That's also very good as well. And try to incorporate it in that situation there. That's for Sasha Hotchitis who asked about the osteoporosis. But as I said, if you do eventually get some time, give us a check and let us put you on a road to at least correct that situation and not allow it to get worse. Because what happens if you have osteoporosis in your knees and you eventually carry a weight, if you're a little heavy, you could end up causing serious damage. And you don't want knee replacements. That's only sound good. Believe me, it only sounds good. All right, so that's one of the things that you need to pay attention to. So feel free to give us a call or visit. That telephone number again and location. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. That telephone number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Davie is the corner of Ramsey Road Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Davie. The telephone number for Davie is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. Tobago, of course, is the Triangle building in Scarborough, Tobago. Keep in mind, we will be in Tobago this week coming here, as well as the beginning of July, God's willing. So you can call that number for Tobago. That number for Tobago, of course, is 226. That's 226-4553. That's 226-4553, as well as 312. That's 312-4248. Again, that's 312-4248. Good. Ms. Nandla, I see you have a question. She said, I have an issue with getting in my full complement of water along with my teas. So in most days, I have fruit. Oh, answer your question on sleep. What question you answer on sleep here? Oh, right. Doc, we know the value of sleep, but what are your thoughts on a person who goes to bed at 12 and 1 and rises at 7 a.m.? Nothing's wrong with that. The thing is with sleep is almost individual, or everybody's sleep requirement is different. Let me put it like that, or close to each other, but it's not the same. It's like a fingerprint, in my personal opinion. And the reason for that is because of what you do on a daily basis and how you eat, how you take care of yourself, and that type of thing. So it have some persons who I can get 4 hours of sleep and I am quite rejuvenated and well rested, right? As opposed to somebody who may get 4, and that mightn't be the case. There are times you could get 8 hours of sleep and you're still tired based on what you may have done or what you may have to do. You may have exams, you may be a little stressed out, whatever the case may be. So my thing is, once you are sleeping, so if this person is going to bed between 12 and 1 and they get up at 7, and all is well with them, they're energetic, they're healthy, and that type of thing, then it's not a problem. It's not a problem. They normally recommend 8 hours of sleep, but as even people age too, there are a lot of people as they get older, they actually sleep less. So you see, so I guess you need to know the level of sleep. As I said, check out Nerve Restore, a very popular product at Batson Associates. It's worth every cent. That product really gives you an improved quality, especially if you suffer from things like depression, anxiety, nervousness, problems with sleep, especially if you're someone you work in the night. You may be a security guard or something like that. You may be a nurse. maybe a doctor, those type of things. Those of you who work shifts, you may be working on an oil rig or something like that. Remember, when you work in the night, you deprive your body of a vital element, which is sleep, and what sleep does. And day sleep doesn't compensate for night sleep. So make sure and take good care of yourself. So this has been yours truly again, Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. Remember our program at 3 p.m. with DJ Mamu on djmamuradiott.com. And of course, we'll be joined on Synergy TV from 5 to 5:30. And those programs, one, we'll be discussing diabetes, that's the Synergy program. And on DJ Mamu, we are to continue our discussion on prostate health as well as hormonal imbalance in women. So packed Thursday with information. And again, as we always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. God bless you guys. Take care. Remember to like us, follow us, share us on Facebook. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we're Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. God bless. Take care of yourself. Later.